Shannen Doherty was a star, but if you knew of her talent and the opportunities she squandered, you'd know she's supposed to be an even greater star. An idol, in fact. However, there's something about her that just didn't allow her to achieve her true potential. And in this video, we will explore that, plus why she threw hands with castmates on 90210, and why she received a restraining order from her fiance. We'll explore all of these and more while showing you some of her rare photos. With that said, let's get right into it. On April 12, 1971, Shannen Doherty was born to Rosa Elizabeth Doherty, a beauty parlor owner, and John Thomas Doherty Jr., a banker, in Memphis, Tennessee. She was raised in her mother's Southern Baptist faith, shaping her views for years to come. At school, Shannen was a confident child, working hard to gain exceptional grades. She also loved to participate in school plays, helping her blossom into a wonderful actress. Right during Shannen's preteen years, her skills as an actress were self-evident. Her first couple of screen appearances were TV guest spots on the shows Voyagers and Father Murphy. Father Murphy was created and produced by Michael Landon, who was particularly impressed with Shannen's skill as an actress, so much so that he helped her win the recurring role of Jenny Wilder on Little House on the Prairie. On Little House on the Prairie, Shannen matured into a certified child star. She appeared in all but 4 episodes of the final season of the show. Though the show was canceled in 1983 when Shannen was 12 years old, she had made herself known throughout Hollywood as a terrific child actress. As such, she did not struggle to find new roles at all. From this point on, Shannen appeared in shows and movies like Magnum P.I., Airwolf, The Secret of NIMH, Girls Just Want to Have Fun, and Our House. For her work during this period, she garnered several Young Actress nominations. Her talent was undeniable, and many people expected much of her. However, the moment her 18th birthday hit, Shannen took things in a direction that sent ripples of shock throughout Hollywood. Many child stars struggle to shed the image of innocence they have around them and attract more mature roles, but Shannen never really had that problem. In 1988, when she was 17 years old, she starred in the horror comedy Heathers. This was her first major motion picture role, and it made her popularity among teens explode. Taking advantage of her newfound stardom, Shannen landed a role on the hit teen drama Beverly Hills 90210. It was 1990, and she was 19 years old at the time. The show, produced by Aaron Spelling, followed the lives of a group of friends as they came of age in Beverly Hills, California. In Brenda Walsh, Shannen found her breakout role, making her a household name. With great power comes great responsibility. However, Shannen Doherty didn't quite get the message. The more popular she grew, the more unruly her behavior became. She was a talented actress. However, she was a horrible person. As such, she put the producers in a tough spot, and a serious decision had to be made about her future on the show. Shannen, who played one of the 2 main characters, was drunk with power. She would start arguments with members of the cast, particularly Jenny Garth. One time, an argument between the two escalated into shocking violence. Eventually, the cast and crew banded together and demanded that the producers fire Shannen. The producers, who had their hands tied, had no option but to agree. As a result, Shannen Doherty left the show after its 4th season. The show was at the height of its popularity, so this move shocked thousands of fans around the country. There was a media storm around Shannen, with many members of the media playing up her bad girl personality. Shannen, who didn't care about all the negative media attention, played into it. From this point on, Shannen's career took a dip. Rather than the A-list career that many people assumed she would have, she began to star in B-movies and made-for-TV films. At the very least, the media was still interested in her exploits and reported on her activities aggressively. She hadn't fallen out of the spotlight completely yet. In 1993, when Shannen was 22 years old, she appeared nude in the infamous Playboy magazine. Some of her fans were thrilled by this, while others were scandalized. Shannen went on to pose for Playboy 2 more times, the following year in 1994, and then 10 years later in 2003. On top of all this, the magazine featured her in a 10-page pictorial. This proved that Shannen had completely accepted her role as Hollywood's resident bad girl. In 1998, producer Aaron Spelling, who had always been fascinated by Shannen's acting skills, decided to cast her in his upcoming teen fantasy drama, Charmed. After a couple of years in the B-movie circuit, this would be Shannen's big chance to get her career back on track and begin winning the caliber of roles that were worth her talent. Aaron was willing to forgive Shannen for her behavior during 902 So. But the question was, had she learned her lesson? When Charmed debuted, it was more or less an instant hit. As one of the lead characters, Prue Halliwell, Shannen reminds everyone just how much of a dramatic force she is. As a matter of fact, she demonstrated new skills by directing a couple of episodes as well. Was all finally well in Doherty land? Well, it did not take long for Shannen's bad attitude to rear its head, but unfortunately for her, this time around, she had met her match. One of Shannen's co-stars on Charmed was Alyssa Milano, a former child star turned teen idol. Like Shannen, she had been in the industry for a long time and had much clout as well. Shannen had a big problem with Alyssa and always tried to butt heads with her. This made the set of Charmed always charged with drama. Eventually, Alyssa made an ultimatum, asking the producers to choose between her and Shannen. The producers, hands tied, chose Alyssa over the much more volatile Shannen. Life had thrown Shannen a second chance, and instead of making the most of it, she had squandered it on petty drama. As talented as she was, she would have to spend years of her life acting in shows and movies that were beneath her talent. At least this time, Shannen was forced to reflect on her attitude and what her bad girl image was really costing her. She ended up growing past that phase of her life and completely reinventing herself. After this period of reflection, Shannen said she wanted to move past her bad reputation because she had become a different person. After she changed her attitude, Hollywood noticed she was back on track. Eventually, she was presented with the rare third chance that many people hardly ever receive. She was to reprise her role as Brenda Walsh in a CW spin-off of 90210. As a guest star on this new show, Shannen was earning between $40,000 and $50,000 per episode. She also appeared in 4 of the initial 6 episodes. Her character, Brenda, had matured into a successful theater actress and stage director. Her career somewhat echoed Shannen's own trajectory through Hollywood. After the initial guest spots, Shannen wanted to return for more 902 Squad. The network was also really happy to have her. As a matter of fact, they wanted her to share scenes with Jenny Garth, her old nemesis. However, Jenny had stated that the bad blood between them was born out of immaturity and that there was no real animosity. And when it comes to Shannen's personal life, it is just as tumultuous as her professional life, if not more so. Of her 4 major relationships, 3 of them ended quite quickly. Of note is her brief engagement to Max Factor, Dean J. Factor. Right before they got married, he filed a restraining order against her, claiming she was abusive. Shannen tried to spin the accusation back on him, but given her on-set history, it's quite difficult for fans to believe her even if they want to. Much of Shannen's work in her older years involves revivals and spin-offs of work she has done in her younger years. Even though she is young by modern industry standards, her professional life has slowed down significantly. The reason? A breast cancer diagnosis. When Shannen first received the news in 2015, she was told it had spread to her lymph nodes. Using all her money, Shannen tried her best to fight the disease. After undergoing an entire suite of treatments, she was told the cancer was more advanced than previously thought. In 2023, she gave a final update to her fans that it had spread to her brain and that she was now at stage 4. The disease was terminal, and she had only a few more months to live. Though Shannen Doherty was quite troublesome in her youth, no one can deny that she learned from her mistakes and became a more mature person. Regardless of what went on behind the scenes, her work on Charmed and 902 So will immortalize her forever in the halls of top-tier teen TV. She was an elite actress who always brought her A game regardless of the stage. Hollywood will be much poorer for losing her. If you enjoyed this video, there's a good chance you'll also enjoy the one showing on your screen right now. Click, enjoy, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. See you on the next one.